Hi everyone, it's Ashley at Tea Garden Paper Crafts, and today I am here to show you what I'm calling a Celtic Cross pocket. So gets glued into your journal like this, and it opens up 4 ways like this, and inside we have 4 pockets. Okay, so this is cool because you can customize it in tons of different styles for your journal. This one I made for a fairy journal that I'm going to be making using some scrapbook paper that I didn't like the back side of it, but I absolutely loved the front side of it. So I will show you how I made this. So first, I started with a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbooking paper. So, and I cut it in half at 6 inches so that it was 12 inches long by 6 inches wide. So I ended up with 2 strips like this. Okay. So now you can see that this is a little bit wider than what I ended up doing. I ended up cutting it into 4 strips. So I will show you how I made this. So we're going to do this one first. All right. So now you can either, this is one, I know I talk about not really being one for measuring, but this is one of those things that measuring is probably going to be your friend. So I have a scoreboard, and what I did is I scored it at 6 inches, and then we'll score it at 3 inches and 9 inches, and then that just shows me where I need to use my cutter. So I know it's really tough to see it, but you could see the little ridges here. That's where I scored it. And then that helps me so that when I get out my cutter, I know where to cut it. So I'm going to line up. I know it's really tough to see on this one, but I'm going to line it up along those. And cut. And that's the most exact part of this. And they don't have to be exactly perfect. If they're a little off, it's fine. It won't make a big difference because you can see mine here, the way that it folds. It's not exactly perfect and it still looks good. But this is the only part that requires measuring. Now this one, I like both sides of the paper, so I'm probably not going to do a ton of covering up. And this will give you enough paper to make 2 pockets. So I'm going to set one of the strips aside. And we're going to start with something like this. So we're going to cross the 2 pages over each other, round about equal. And for this one, I ended up, oh, I did score again. I'm sorry. This one does require more measuring than I'm used to. So like when I wrote down my steps, I was like, what did I do? Anyway, so this one we're going to score at 4 inches. So we're going to put it on the long way. We're going to score it at 4 inches and 8 inches. So that way, when we fold it up like this, folding on our score marks, we should have 2 that are relatively. So let me go back through that real quick just so you're going to take a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, scrapbooking paper, whatever you have, and we're going to cut it down into 4 strips that are 3 inches by 12 inches. Okay? You'll have 2 strips left over that you can use to make another pocket. So this is a fun one to be able to mass make. And then we're going to take 2 of those strips and put them on the long way, and we're going to score them or fold them. You don't have to, if you don't have a scoreboard, you can just measure and then use your ruler to fold. So like I'll show you how to do that here. So you would take your ruler and go, okay, that's 4 inches there. And then put your ruler here and then do your fold like that. And then this one you don't have to measure because you just know that you just need to fold it where that other fold is. And that's another way that you can do it if you don't have a scoreboard, that you can still get this folded without that. Okay, so once we have these folded, we're going to put them like this and figure out which side we want of the scrapbooking paper we want to be on the inside and what we want to be on the outside. So I'm happy with this. I like this on the inside. I think it's really pretty. And then this on the outside. So what we're going to do is we are going to glue these together. And it does not need to be exact because we're going to cover it with another piece of paper as well. So I'm going to just spread my glue out here, make sure that we've got a good enough coverage, and then I'm going to eyeball it, make sure it looks pretty straight, and that looks pretty good to me. And kind of center it as best we can, and then press it down. So this part here is what's going to get glued to your page. Okay, so next we need something to put in the center here. And for that something that you're going to put in the center, you're going to want something that is big enough that when you fold up your sides, it fits in there and you've got just these little corners sticking out. Now, I don't like this paper with this paper, so I'm not going to use that. I am thinking about using... That might be a little busy. Pardon my sniffles. I'm still getting over my colds that I had. So I am still a little bit snuffly. Let's see. What do we want to use for? We could just use a brown paper bag. That could be cute. I like that. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we are going to mark there. I'm going to cut that down. So make sure we fit in there because you want this to be able to close still. So fit that in there, and then this piece here, and then fold it where this fold is, and then we'll cut that off. And then because this was a paper bag that I cut up, and I want it to be that extra sturdy, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of glue this paper bag together. If you were using a piece of cardstock, you would not need to do this. Okay. Let me grab my glue stick to get into those little edges. Glue down all of those little pieces. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on all of this so that I can glue my paper bag to it. Now my first project, the one that I showed you as the prototype, I inked that one. I am not going to ink this one because I love this paper. I don't think it needs the inking. And it's pretty busy paper as it is, so I don't think that it needs it. But you can absolutely ink this up. Okay, make sure we are in there. Rub away any excess glue so we don't accidentally glue our Celtic Cross shut. Okay, so there's our basic pocket construction. You've got these pieces that fold in and these pieces that fold up and down, and that is your basic pocket. So now let's do a little bit of decorating here and build our actual pockets. So I think I want to add a little bit of pink to this. And now what I did on my original one, on my prototype, is that I used the same paper to build my pockets. I could do that here and use one of these strips, and I think I might do that, but I might use the contrasting. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay. So we'll cut this into the 3 pieces. Okay. So let's start with our pocket over here. So obviously we want to make our pocket a little bit smaller than this, because otherwise when you go to fold, there's going to be bulk in that fold, and we don't want that. So I'm going to cut off maybe about this much here. And now, because I'm not inking this project, I'm also going to want to make a hole here. I'm going to want to use my 1-inch circle punch to make a hole to like denote that this is a pocket. So try and get it relatively in the center. And then I don't want my pocket to go all the way up, so I'm going to cut it off right about here. You can still see the little big cat there. There we go. And then we'll just put a thin line of glue. Come on, glue. Okay, and use the finger tool to smush it around. And then we will very carefully put it in our spot there. And rub away, once again, rub away any excess glue so that we don't accidentally glue our pocket shut. So there's the first pocket. Now I'll do this side here, which I'm just going to do the same thing, and I'll kind of measure it against itself, measure it against the other pocket here so that they're relatively the same size. That was not a straight cut at all. There we go. That's better. Cool. A little bit smaller, but it's not that big of a deal. And then cool, I like that. And then cut my hole so you know it's a pocket, and then we'll glue it on. My glue was doing the explosion thing, so I'm going to just use my finger. Go. Rub all that excess glue off my fingies. All right, and then put it down and rub off the excess glue from the pocket. All right. So next, what I did is I did a double pocket in the center. You could do just one big pocket, but I thought it was kind of fun to do a couple small pockets. So what I did was I took this sheet here and I measured it and cut off a little bit here to make it thinner so that it fit easier on the page. Again, so that way we don't have to worry about it causing bulk when we fold up our pockets. Okay, so we've got that there. And then what I did is I cut this in half, and then I just glued them together like that. So that you've got a pocket here and a pocket here. Okay, so glue down our first pocket, which is the top pocket, and we are only going to put glue on the sides. We are not going to put glue on the bottom because that way something can fit all the way down. So we're going to put that right about there. And then for our second pocket on this one, we're going to glue all the way. We're going to do our U. Finger smoosh. And then we will put that down like that. So that way, when we put something in this back pocket, it can go all the way down, and then we've got a small pocket here. Okay, so that is the construction of that. Let's decorate it a little bit. I'm going to leave these ones undecorated. You could, an idea if you wanted to, was like if you wanted to give more writing space, you could put a piece of like lined paper or an index card or something like that here. For example, you could cut an index card to fit in here and put that on to give some extra writing space. But this I'm going to use as mostly just decoration. So I'm only going to decorate right now. I'm going to decorate the front of this one here. And the front of that one. So I've got another lovely mushroom sticker like I used in my other one. Put that mushroom sticker on there. And then I've got these really cool bows, and I want to use the blue bow for this one. I got these on clearance at Hobby Lobby. I think I'm going to put this bow here. So we got something like that. So there you go. That is that pocket made. And if you wanted it to be a little sturdier, you could put extra layers. The more layers you put, the sturdier it's going to be. Like these ones are super sturdy because they've got so many layers. But this one, I really like the paper, so I didn't want to do too much on it and take away from the paper. So you've got, this is what it'll look like when it's glued in. And then you can open it up. I'll probably put some sentiments here or something like that. And then, but that I'll determine when I actually put it into the journal, and I'll customize it a little bit more once I put it into the journal. I have a good idea. But this gives you the basic construct. You can fold it all different kinds of ways, like that. And you can make these in so many different styles. You are pretty much only limited by the cardstock that you have. I would recommend making the basic construction out of cardstock though, because this will get a lot of opening and closing. And you want something that's going to be sturdy enough for that. So here are our two projects, my prototype and the one that I made on this video for a fairy journal I'm making. And I hope you really enjoyed this Celtic Cross tutorial, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I would also, if you are not subscribed, I would appreciate if you would, because we are getting ever closer to 500 subscribers, and when I hit it, I have a giveaway of this awesome Halloween journal. This will be given away to one subscriber, so make sure you're subscribed. Keep an eye out for how you can win that journal, and I will see you in my next video. Just a quick note, I will be out of town until October 17th. I'm going to Disney World, yay. And so I will be not posting a video for the next 2 weeks. So I will be back towards the end of October with a couple videos, and I will try to make a few more tutorials during that time to make up for my absence. I hope everyone has a wonderful October. I will see you towards the end of October, and thank you for tuning in. Bye!